Transmission begins.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the Josh Tolley Show on the GCN Radio Network.
All right, second hour, Josh Tolley Show, GCN Radio Network. If you want to be part of it today, it's real easy. 1-800-259-5791. 1-800-259-5791. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all those fun social sites, and, of course, the website, joshtolley.com. JOSHTOLLEY.com, which is a new website, by the way, where you can sign up for the training seminars, check out our videos on YouTube, get involved in the entrepreneur marketplace, where if you have a product to sell and you actually want to make money with it, we can help you with that. You know, free enterprise is fuel for freedom. Have to help those people who are involved in free enterprise. All right, before the break, we were talking about police task force to inspect homes without notice for unpermitted guests. And we were thinking, well, you know, that has to be someplace other than the United States, because, come on, I mean, that's just immoral, unethical, immature. But no, it's happening here. Westbury, New York, a special police force has been created to snoop in on property owners to make sure they aren't allowing guests to stay in their homes without government approval. Homeowners in the Long Island community of Westbury have had their private property rights abridged to the point where they cannot even make autonomous decisions about what happens inside their own homes. The Police Housing Enforcement Unit will abide by an aggressive zero-tolerance policy for homeowners who allow so-called illegal tenants in their homes. The cops will sweep through communities and conduct housing inspections without notice. No. How would you even allow this to happen? Yeah, we need to inspect in your home. Why? Well, you know, you're not allowed to have guests in your house. Oh. Oh, by the way, this gun's illegal. Oh, by the way, this marijuana's illegal. Oh, by the way, you know. Oh, they're going to find a lot of oh, by the ways. A presentation given at a town hall meeting, including a prop explaining the changes. That poster included the following statement: modify search warrant law to eliminate prior notice. Aggressively use search warrants and housing sweeps on a regular basis. Done. Mayor Pete Carvalho claims that allowing property owners to make their own rules victimizes the community as a whole. West Village Justice Thomas Leotti backwardly argued that it was homeowners exercising their freedom that was hurting property rights, not the government's micromanagement of their living spaces. This is just insane. One resident, Perry Espatiso, told News 12 reporter that he doesn't think it's fair that his neighbors can take on a tenant to help them pay their exorbitant taxes, which can be in excess of $9,000 per year. The town is dispersing flyers detailing to residents how they can snitch on their neighbors to the police. It's almost like you want to play taps. You know, it's just... You're really concerned about your neighbors? Well, they might have people staying there. And how do we know they're not paying rent? How do we know they're not renting out the basement, Josh, without being zoned for it? I need to snitch on them. I remember in school, you weren't supposed to be a tattletale. And they would teach you what makes a tattletale and what doesn't. If little Jimmy's eating paste, don't be a tattletale. Now, is Jimmy supposed to eat paste? Nah. But why didn't you tell on him? 'Cause you were a decent human. I mean, even the person who would discipline Jimmy would tell you, why are you tattling on Jimmy? I mean, do we get this? Okay, so you wouldn't let kids act the way this town acts. But now the town gets to act that way. Well, we want you to be able to snoop and snitch on your neighbors. Yeah, well, if Aunt Mary's staying there for 3 weeks, maybe it's really not Aunt Mary. Maybe it's coworker Mary. So you need to snitch on her. I mean, look, if somebody's keeping, sex traffic victims in the basement, or somebody's getting murdered or raped in the attic, got it. Report it. Matter of fact, never mind. I was going to say something else. But report it to the police. I get that. But obviously nobody's in danger here. Nobody's being threatened or harmed. Well, they can't have people staying there. And that's just the civilian side of this. That's just the citizen side. You know, snitching on your neighbor. That's deplorable. If you snitch, you should move because you deserve to live in Russia. The police side of this. Well, we need to put together a task force. This is just a grievous error. I mean, how dare you? How dare you let somebody stay in your home? Why is it any business of yours? I mean, when did our homes not become our homes anymore? Do we just say, okay, well, you know what, we give up. I mean, our homes are really yours. We're just going to have to pay for the upkeep of something that the government owns. And it sure is pretty. So I'll pay for the upkeep of it. But yeah, you can totally tell me what happens here. That's not how this is supposed to work, you know. It's your house. If you want to have somebody stay there for 7 years, that's good for you. Good for you. That is awesome. If you want to help out somebody who hasn't had a job for a while because the government-ran economy, or the government-manipulated economy anyway, has created a situation where it's just not working for many people, then good for you. Let them stay in your house, sleep on your couch, in the spare room, what have you. But to have government officials who actually think, well, this victimizes the neighborhood. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. You know, we end this show every day with, remember, no victim, no crime. Look up jury nullification. This is a case where government officials are making victims out of nothing. These are ghost victims. There's no victim here. So let's say there's a house on Maple Street. Nice little house. It has a family of 5 in it. A mom, dad, 3 kids. That family moves out. A family of 4 moves in. But her sister lost a job and got a divorce, so her sister comes and stays with them for 3 to 6 months while she gets back on her feet. Huh. That 5th person is victimizing the neighborhood. How? How? 5 people before weren't. 5 people now are. Well, Josh, sometimes she has friends come over, the sister-in-law or whatever. She has friends come over, so there's 6 people staying there sometimes on weekends. And how does that victimize you? I mean, were they shooting your house with eggs, maybe? Or you know, pumpkin chunking over the backyard and they took out the dog? No? So how does this victimize you? And then the public is so stupid, they hear these politicians say that it victimizes the neighborhood, and all of a sudden, like those people, who are they, hypochondriacs, who, you know, hey, you have an itchy nose? I do have an itchy nose. You have citizens the same way. The politicians say, oh, we're victimizing the neighborhood. And then the neighbors think, oh, I've been victimized. Oh my goodness. Next thing you know, they're spying out the curtains like Mrs. Kravitz in Bewitched. Who's staying over there, Jimmy? Oh, look. Oh, I think they spent the night. Our neighborhood's just being victimized. Grow up. Grow up. If this is what you concern yourself with as a citizen of wherever this is in Long Island, and man, Long Island has some problems. Westbury, New York, the Long Island community. If this is your concern, instead of the fact that your property taxes are now $9,000 a year, then you have misplaced priorities. If I was living in this town, and you know what, when I did the event at the Save Long Island Forum, I met a lot of people who live on Long Island who are talking about how, man, $9,000 would be wonderful for a property tax. I mean, I talked to people who are paying $36,000, $42,000 a year on middle-class homes. But if your neighbor having a guest is the priority and the concern, as opposed to the fact that they're essentially mugging you for property tax, come on now, put on your big boy pants. We'll be back right after this.